Hello students, the Teachers Academy welcomes you back to the Basics English Grammar course video lectures. Well, in this lesson, we will study the usage of simple present tense, one of the most common tenses used in general conversations. Now, along with that, we will study the usage of frequency adverbs in simple present tense such as daily, frequently, occasionally. Along with that, we'll discuss the spellings and pronunciation of final S in verbs. Let's firstly discuss what simple present tense is. It is used to describe habits, unchanging situations, general truths and fixed arrangements. Let's have a look at some examples of simple present tense. I eat, you eat, he, she, it eats, we eat, they eat, I, you, we and they. With these words we have used eat. But with the words he, she, it, we use eats. Now let's discuss the structure of simple present tense. It is SVO. S stands for subject, V stands for verb and O stands for object. Let's discuss what these words are. Subject is a person who is doing the action. Verb, a word used to denote an action. An object is a person or a thing on which an action is done. For example, I speak English. I is the subject here, speak is the verb and English is an object. Let's discuss frequency adverbs in simple present tense. What are the frequency adverbs? An adverb of frequency describes how often an action happens. For example, always, usually, sometimes, rarely and never are some of the most commonly used frequency adverbs. Let's see how these words are used in sentences. I always sleep early. I usually take a nap in the afternoon. So usually also means almost always. I often drink milk in the morning. So often means most of the time. My brother sometimes visits me. He seldom drinks. Seldom means very less, almost rarely. We rarely go for a movie. They never eat non-veg. Let's discuss whenever in a sentence there is no main verb. So how do we use frequency adverbs in those kind of sentences? We follow the rule be plus frequency adverb. For example, she is always late for dance class. So is has been used and always has been used after the be form of verb. Moving on, he is usually sad in the evening. Similarly, they are rarely at home in the evening. Now let's discuss the order again. The order which we use while using frequency adverb is subject plus frequency adverb plus verb. For example, she always does her work. So you can see she is the subject, always is the frequency adverb and does is the main form of verb. The next example is he often eats bread in the morning. So as you can see, he is the subject, often is the frequency adverb and eats is the verb used here. Moving further, let's discuss the spelling and pronunciation of final S. So firstly, we will be discussing the words ending with S sound. Let's have a look at the screen. Smell. Whenever smell is used with singular subjects, it becomes smells. Similarly, drink becomes drinks. Sleep becomes sleeps. Snore becomes snores. And wake becomes wakes. So as you can see, all these words end with S sound. Moving further, now we will discuss the verbs which end with Z sound. For example, run becomes runs. Play becomes plays. Sing becomes sings. Love becomes loves. So as you can see, all these words end with Z sound. Moving further, now we'll discuss the verbs ending with is sound. Have a look at the screen first. Teach. The verb teach becomes teaches. The verb miss becomes misses. The verb catch becomes catches. Go becomes goes. And use becomes uses. As you can see on the screen, in the last two verbs, go and use, the usage is the verbs end with Z sound. Go becomes goes and use becomes uses. Moving further, let's discuss the verbs which end with IES. On the screen you can see that cry becomes cries, dry becomes dries, fly becomes flies, pay becomes pays, and pray becomes prays. So as you can see, the verbs cry, dry and fly end with IES, but when we come across the words, whenever there is a Y at the end after a vowel, then you just add an S. For example, pay becomes pays and pray becomes praise. Thanks for watching this video lecture. Now it's time for you to do the exercises.